Hello fellow hunters, this is Jared the Lantern, and I'm here with a video that I wanted to share with you. And this is how I personally corpsed a skeleton. Corpsing a skeleton is a project that I've been wanting to do for quite some time now, and I just never really got around to it. And I decided to go ahead and do it. I kind of combined different techniques that I have seen on YouTube myself, and I wanted to do it both for kind of from a beginner standpoint, but also for someone on a budget, which I am both. I am both a beginner and I'm on a budget. So this kind of takes techniques from different places on YouTube that I've seen, and some are very thorough, and the outcome is awesome. But I wanted to go a little more basic, and I was pretty happy with how mine turned out. So I kind of wanted to share with you what I did and everything that was required to accomplish my finished product. So first thing, of course, you need is a skeleton. I picked this one up from Rite Aid. Their Halloween stuff is half off all year long, or all season long I should say, and they're regularly $60, so it's $30. Are they the best quality? Absolutely not, but good for this project, and I'll tell you why in a minute. You'll also need a heat gun. These are super cheap. You can get these at Home Depot. I got this specific one right here. This is a Wagner, I believe it's called a 300, and it was 23 bucks. Then you're going to need some 0.7 mil drop cloth, plastic drop cloth, super cheap. I got one sheet for $2, but you can buy a lot more in a pack and get more bang for your buck, of course, if you plan on doing a lot more corpsing. Now these things are more like not necessary, but for my project it was. I got some black spray paint. I didn't get this exact one. I got very cheap. It was like 98 cents from Home Depot. And then you're gonna get some craft paint from Michael's. And I got some white, and I got some gray. And again, this is for my personal purposes because I have a black and white haunt. So that's what I got. And then for that craft paint, I didn't really buy this. I just had it lying around the house, but it was just a very cheap paintbrush. But I do remember getting this from Home Depot for like $1 or $2. So everything is super cheap to get. So here's basically what I did. So here is the skeleton that I used, and like I said, it is very poor quality. It's not high quality like the ones you would get from Michael's or even Target or Spirit, but it actually works well for my advantage because I wanted to make his arms crossed like a person would be if they were laid to rest, unfortunately. So as you can see, I tied his arms down across his chest, and then all I did was wrap the drop cloth around every part of the skeleton that I wanted to corpse. So I started with the rib cage, and then as you can see, I just took the heat gun right on top of the drop cloth, and just applied the heat directly to the drop cloth on top of the skeleton. As you can see, it basically just clings to it. So you are in a sense kind of just shrink wrapping the skeleton. And now you can see I'm doing the back, and so the plastic of course does shrink. I did wrap every area of the skeleton multiple times. The more of the drop cloth that you put on the skeleton itself, the stronger it is. And as you can see here, I wrapped it one more time around the rib cage and the arm area. And here's just a close-up of what it looks like on the hands of the skeleton. You can see all those openings really do add to the effect. And now I'm starting on probably the most important part of the skeleton itself is the skull. And the eye sockets and the nose and the mouth area definitely are the most important parts of the skull itself. And right here, all I did was kind of just use the heat to attach it to the neck area, and I just wrapped around the top of the skull. And then you can see that I'm now getting that really kind of creepy corpse effect where the skin has really been kind of torn away at the neck area. And you know, the good thing about the drop cloth is it's super cheap, so if you ever mess up, you just keep wrapping it over and over again. I'm doing the legs. Now this particular skeleton, he's going to be going into a coffin where the bottom portion is going to be covered. I'm not paying too much attention to the bottom half of the skeleton because he's not going to be seen, but I still wanted to do it for the purposes of the video. I actually didn't do the feet at all, but just to give you a sense of what it's like to put this together. So here's kind of like prior to the painting process, and I was really happy how the way it came out. So the next thing for me to do was to take the spray paint and just cover him completely with black. And this is how he dried overnight. And you can see the skin tearing effect really comes out after you apply the spray paint. I think it looks really cool, especially with the arms and the hands. And I should also say, overnight the drop cloth over the rib cage and the skull remained very strong. Not so much on the legs, but like I said, I didn't pay too much attention to that. I then did a dry brush technique with both gray and white craft paint, the acrylic paint. I'm sure you guys are all familiar with the dry brush technique. And I was very happy how it turned out, and it was super easy and super cheap. So for this one skeleton, I mean, if you include like the purchasing of the heat gun and all that, this came out to about $60. But I can use a heat gun over and over again. I can use much more of the drop cloth that I still have left over, paint, etc. So you know, you really can use this technique for a lot of skeletons, skulls, and other projects. So there it is, you guys. I hope this helped you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Like I said, this is very basic, kind of like a beginner's guide, especially for those on a budget. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you like what you're seeing, please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, keep it creepy.